Hi everyone, how are you guys going? Wasn't it beautiful weather in Canberra today? I am so about this new weather. Spring is coming. We've got all these beautiful cherry blossoms out and about, and it's honestly just making lockdown so much nicer. Just being able to, for our our outside exercise, getting to see the beautiful cherry blossoms. So we might just give everyone a couple minutes to show up. You guys would have heard the announcement today. Lockdown in the ACT is being extended 2 weeks, but that's okay because, we've got it really easy compared to Sydney and Melbourne. And we can do group outdoor exercise now, up to 5 people. So I'm really, really looking forward to catching up with more than my one exercising buddy. And, obviously keep wearing your masks and everything, but I'm really excited to be able to see people. So, we've still gained something, which is great. I don't know if you guys have seen before, but this is my little Harry Potter mug. My dad bought me. They're like little cute because I like Hedwig. I think he's my favorite. Yes, I am having a coffee at 6 p.m. Need the caffeine to get me through Pilates, Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know, my name is Jennifer. I'm a registered Australian physiotherapist and antenatal Pilates instructor in the Canberra region. If you're local and you'd like an appointment for anything from pelvic girdle pain to sports injuries, feel free to book that appointment with me. I'll leave a link down below. I work for Physio RX, like the letters RX. Otherwise, if you want to get in contact with me for any other little reason, feel free to reach out on Instagram or Facebook. I'm Physio for Happy Healthy Pregnancy, the same way it's spelled here. So for tonight's class, basically, you won't need anything except a foam roller. A long one is better if you can, and a softer one is better too, but you can use any kind of foam roller, that's totally fine. I have a little slider right there, and I think we might use that in the class, but we'll just see how we go. If you don't have a slider, then just wearing socks on like a hard floor or socks on the carpet will work fine too. I've got a little mat here, but you don't need a mat. If you think you might get a little bit sweaty working out on a towel, is totally fine. My mat keeps crumpling up at the edges, which is super annoying. When I bought this mat, I didn't realize I was going to be a Pilates instructor. I thought I was going to be like doing yoga once a week in my house for 15 minutes. But that's okay. That's all right. Life changes. Lockdown throws you some weird things. I was a Pilates instructor before lockdown, but that's the other thing I wanted to mention to you guys. So I'm doing these obviously online Pilates classes during lockdown, which is a lot of fun. But I normally teach 7 Pilates classes a week when we're not in lockdown. So if you would like to come do a real life class with me, I promise they're a little bit more fun than this kind of like at home, throw together last minute, teach Pilates in a tiny bedroom kind of situation. I teach mat work classes on Fridays. I teach reformer classes on Wednesday nights, and I teach an antenatal Pilates class on Tuesday night. So if you want to get into one of those, either leave a comment for me or reach out on Facebook or Instagram. It would be wonderful to see you guys there. Okay, so I think everybody who's going to come is showed up. Let's get started. So we're going to do a little bit of ankle mobility to begin our workout. Whoop, that's a bit loud. To begin our workout tonight, and those of you guys who know me in real life will know why. Okay, so we're starting out with a foam roller laid across the mat, and what I'm going to get you to do, come up into a little bit of a squat position, and I want you to set yourself up so your feet, one foot, is on the foam roller like this. You get your knee bent, and I want you to crouch forward and push down into that foam roller. So if you've got stiff ankles, this is going to be really nice, kind of loosening through the ankles. If not, you should be able to stretch kind of at the back of the calf lower here. So a lot of people don't know this, but you've actually got 2 calf muscles. One of them works better when the knee is bent and one when the knee is straight. And so most of the time we're doing calf strengthening with straight legs, even though most of the time our calf works when our knees are slightly bent. So strengthening the calf muscle that works on the bent knee is also really, really important. So what I'm going to get you to do now, come up, pushing forward. So keeping this position of the foot, we're going to do lunges. You do 10 of these. It's a balance challenge as well. Lovely. And swapping sides. And stretching through the calf. Trying to really get that stretched on the back here. The higher you put your foot up on the foam roller, the harder it will be. And coming up and doing those lunges. Lovely. All right, so we're going to strengthen that bent knee calf muscle a little bit more now. So we're going to come down into a squat. And I'm going to hold on to the wall, but if you'd like to hold on to the foam roller for balance, that's fine. So coming down into a squat, coming up into a calf raise, and back down. So we're going to do 10 of these in a row. Lovely. And now straightening your legs and doing 10 calf raises here. Coming back down into a squat and repeating. We're going to do 3 sets of 10 for each. Lovely. And up. Keeping in time with me if you can. And back down into the squat. This is our last set here. Feel that burn in the quads. 8, 9, 10. And up. Good job. All right. Coming back and stretching through the ankle again. Using that foam roller, trying to keep the heel on the ground and leaning forward. You'll feel that in the back of the ankle if you're tight. If you're not feeling much, that probably means you're not too tight. So if you want to take the ankle, the heel up off the floor and rock forward and back on the foam roller now. You should start to feel it in the quad on your opposite side. 3 more of these to go. Oh, and swapping sides. So starting with the heel on the ground if you can. I'm having trouble getting into the position because my other ankle is a little stiff. Might have something to do with a broken foot that I had 8 weeks ago. So stretching. And rocking forward and back.
I was too strong, you were trembling, you couldn't handle the hot heat rising.
Good job. All right, now let's work through those calves that we've just strengthened. Let's loosen them back up again. So outstretching your legs over the foam roller. So I want you to place your left leg in contact with the foam roller and cross your right leg over the top. So here what we're going to do, press down through our wrists and rolling backwards and forwards. So coming all the way up to the bottom of the Achilles and then pulling ourselves back. You'll feel this in your core as well. It's a nice arm workout. Oh. And swapping sides.
I'm giving you up, I'm forgiving it all. You set me free.
All right, good job. Reaching out and just stretching through those muscles now. And swapping sides. We're going to work our way up the body now. So we're going to come into a hamstring workout. So what I'll do, I'll get you to set your foam roller up on the mat so it's lengthways and place your feet on the foam roller. So from here, what I'm going to get you to do, lying back on the mat, hands by your side. What I'll get you to do, press down through your heels and lift your bottom up off the mat. So I'd like you to imagine you're scooping your pelvis up. So you're moving one spine bone at a time. So if you imagine that your pelvis is a bowl of water, you're sloshing the water backwards, so tipping in towards your belly button, and then pushing up, curling your spine up off the ground and coming down. So you should feel this in your hamstrings and a little bit in your bottom. Squeezing your bottom cheeks together at the top, and then relaxing to come back down, laying the vertebrae back on the ground one at a time. So as you come up to the top, I want you to imagine you've got a $50 note between your bottom cheeks and you're squeezing it together so that you don't lose it. Moving your feet closer together now, we're going to do more, 5 more. And 1. At this one, meet me high. And I want you to take all your weight through your left leg and kick your right leg out straight. And come back down. Heeling up one more time. Squeezing your bottom cheeks together. Take all your weight through your right leg and kick your left leg out. Going back down. Feel that in the hamstrings. We're going to do 5 of these on each side. Heeling up. Coming into the second right leg lift. And down. Exhaling to peel our bottom up off the ground. Taking all the way through the right leg and kicking out that left leg the second time. Coming back down. So we've got 3 to go. Breath in at the bottom, breath out, peeling up. And breath in at the top, kicking out that right leg. Bring it back in. And exhaling to lower. Breath in at the bottom. Exhale to lift. Inhale to top, up the top, kicking that left leg out and back in. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling at the bottom. Exhaling. Kicking that right leg out as we inhale. And then exhaling to lower. Rolling up. Inhaling at the top, kicking out that left leg. Bring it back in, exhaling to lower. Squeezing those glutes to keep us nice and high. Up. Last kick out with the right. And lower. Exhaling to peel up one more time. Kick out with the left. And lower. Good job. Bring your knees in towards your chest and just stretching through the back. And straightening those legs, coming into an active hamstring stretch. So you want you to have your legs, your knees straight and your hips bent as far as you can. So you're grabbing your legs and pulling them over. So this hamstring stretch will be different than the one you do in lying, because you simply have to activate your quads and your glutes to keep you fit, as well as your core. So it's a little bit more active. As you can see, I'm shaking slightly, so that's good. Keeping your legs here, high if you can. I want you to place both your hands on the outside of your calf, curling up and down. Exhaling up, inhaling down. Exhaling up, inhaling down. We do 5 more of these. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Lowering those legs. Grabbing the foam roller now, we're going to come into some back stretches. So we're going to set ourselves up on the mat. So our knees are hip width apart, or mat width apart. We're rolling that foam roller away, coming into a modified child pose. Rocking backwards and forwards on the foam roller. Sinking as low to the floor as you come backwards as you can, and lifting up slightly as you push away. And leaning all the way over to the right, stretching down that left hand side. And swapping sides. Lovely. All right, let's come into a feather eagle. So setting ourselves up on all fours, reaching up with one arm. So I'm using my right arm, and then threading it through your left knee, your left wrist, lowering that right shoulder down towards the ground. And with the left arm. All right, coming into my favorite part of the class now. You need to grab a drink. Now's a good time. Please no one comment that caffeine dehydrates you. Please no. I don't need to be told. So setting yourself up with your foam roller lengthways across the mat. I want you to lie on it. So I want you to set yourself up so the top of your sacrum, of your tailbone, is on the foam roller. And if you don't have enough space for your head, grab a couple of pillows to set them on. So I'm going to set myself up so my head will rest on the foam roller. This will make it harder through the lower back. So I would recommend not doing this, having some pillows if you can. But the pillows ruin the setup. So what we're going to do here, both feet, I want you to come up, feet hip width apart. I want you to come up onto your toes. Pointing both hands up towards the ceiling. We're going to drop our arms out and bring them back in. So exhaling to lower, inhaling to lift. And so you'll feel a tightening here across your belly. What I want you to do is accentuate that tightening. So breath in to prepare, breath out, drawing this tummy muscle on. So you're sucking your tummy in as if you're trying to pull on a tight pair of pants you haven't worn in 3 months. You haven't worn since the start of lockdown, maybe. So finding that stability through your core. So keeping your back flat on the foam roller, meet with your hands high in 3, 2, 1. So keeping the back flat, I want you to keep your ribs in contact with the foam roller. Drop your left arm back and touch your thumb towards the floor. Draw it back up. And so using that core to keep you nice and stable. If you're wobbling around here a little bit, that's totally fine.
swam across, I jumped across for you.
If you're getting any shoulder pain or anything like that, that's fine. Just don't go back quite so far. Alright, and we're meeting knee high in 3, 2, 1, and dropping those arms outwards again. If you feel comfortable, as you come up to the top, drop your heels back down to the ground. As you drop your arms out, lift your heels up. Exhaling as we drop our arms out and come up into a calf raise, and inhaling as we draw our hands back in and lower our heels to the ground. Exhaling as we come out, inhaling as we come in. Keeping that core on nice and strong.
Myself
5 more of these. Lovely. Lowering your hands down towards the ground. So I'm placing them either side of my belly so that my elbows are touching the ground. This will make the next part a little bit easier. So bringing flat feet onto the mat. Now what I want you to do, breath in to prepare. Breath out, draw on that lower core. So your elbows are helping you here. What I'm going to get you to do, move your feet a little bit closer together and lift that right knee up into tabletop. And so you'll probably be shaking a little bit. That's totally fine. And swapping sides. Lifting that left leg. If you're feeling comfortable, on the next lift, I want you to cross your arms across your chest, finding that stability through your core. Exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. Wobbling is fine. It's part of the process. Whoa. Keeping that core on nice and strong.
Sour apple baby, but you taste so sweet. You got hips like Jagger and 2 left feet. And I wonder if you'd like to meet. Your voice is very through a telephone. You can come to mind, but both my roommates are home.
Staying here for another 10.
They will leave us alone. And I wonder if you take it slow. Oh, dancing in my living room, and up come my fist, and I say I'm only playing, but the truth is this, that I've never seen a mouth that I
Lovely. And lowering. All right, what I get you to do here, lying on the foam roller. We're going to set the foam roller up lengthways across the mat, but it's only coming halfway across the mat. And so what I'm going to get you to do, lie on the foam roller. So the foam roller is this way across your back. So this is my spine, and this is where the foam roller is. In the lower back, so it's going to be, the corner of it's going to be pressing into that muscle. So using your hand to support the foam roller, and your other elbow to keep you a little bit grounded, you're rocking forwards and back and rolling through that muscle. You should find some sore spots, especially if you've been working from a less than ideal at-home desk.
I grab your hand and then we run to the car, singing in the street and playing air guitar, stuck between my teeth just like a candy bar, and I wonder if it goes too far to say I've never recognized a purer face. You stopped me in my tracks and put me right in my place. Used to
And swapping sides.
painful days, but you're right here now. You stay.
So rocking forward and back, and if you find a spot, rocking in and out too.
And up come my fist, and I say I'm only playing, but the truth is this, I've never seen a mouth that I would kill to kiss,
Good job. All right. Setting ourselves up on hands and knees now. I'm going to turn it slightly. There we go. Hands and knees, but our hands are on the foam roller. So what I want you to do, we're rolling the foam roller out until our body comes into a straight line. And then we're rolling the foam roller back in. So if you can't get all the way up to a straight line, that's totally fine. Just rolling it away as far as you can. And if you need to tuck your toes under something, that's totally fine too. You might want to take your steps and then roll, or you might want to take steps one at a time, whatever works for you.
I swear it's true. Hey there, Delilah, don't you worry about the distance. I'm right there. If you get lonely, give this song another listen. Close your eyes. Listen to my voice, it's my disguise. I'm by your side.
Staying here for another 2 rolls.
It's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me. Oh, it's what you do to me.
Good job. All right, setting ourselves up on all fours again. We're going to come into shoulder blade push-ups. So squeezing our shoulder blades together, pushing them and drawing the ground towards us, and then pushing the ground away, rounding through our back. So you're not moving the back at all. The back is staying nice and straight. You're just moving the shoulder blades. Staying long through the back of the neck. And as you come down, what I want you to do is to point your fingers up towards the ceiling, keeping those elbows nice and straight. So you're stretching through the forearms. You should feel a stretch down here, and as you're pushing down. So coming up, so our fingers are pointing towards the ceiling. Weight through our fingers as we push down. Stretching through those forearms, push away. Push down, stretching through those forearms, and as we push away, coming up onto our fingers a little bit. So we're not pushing up with our fingers, we're keeping that weight here through our core and our legs, but that's just taking the pressure off the wrists a little bit. So we're stretching through the forearms, straight arms as we come down, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and then drawing our weight up, coming up on our wrists, and rolling forward through the shoulders. Stretching through the forearms, coming up. And if you want to add a tail tuck, you can.
Hey there, Delilah, you be good and don't you miss me. 2 more years and we'll be
3 of these to go.
and I'll be making history like I do. You know it's all because.
All right. Finding a lying position now. We're going to come into a bent knee fall out. Oh. So finding stability through our spine. Let's work on that first. So rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards. So I want you to try and push your tailbone down towards the ground as far as you can, your sit bones. If imagining your pelvis is a bowl of water, sloshing the water forward between your legs and then drawing it back as far as you can. So what I want you to do is I want you to really enjoy this mobility through the back. And then slowly reduce that range until you find a spot that's the middle ground. And then when you're comfortable here, I want you to find your ribs with your hands and flaring those ribs out and then tucking them under. So this is kind of hard to see here on the ground, but it's easier in standing. So you're flaring those ribs up and then tucking them under. So it's like you're pushing this part of the body up and tucking it under. This is a stretch for your thoracic spine, just the same way, or your middle back, as the pelvic rock was a stretch for your lower. And now we're here, I want you to roll through those shoulders, drawing them forward and then back. And then finding that middle ground, if you can, where the back of the shoulder blades are touching the ground. All right. Grabbing your foam roller now and squeezing it between your knees and your ankles. Keeping this perfect posture, we're going to drop our legs left to right. Allowing your opposite hip to lift and using your core to draw it back in. Remembering to squeeze through the inside of your legs so as not to drop the foam roller. Staying strong through that core. Inhaling to lower, exhaling to come back to the center. Meeting me in the middle in 3, 2, 1. And we're straightening those legs, tapping the foam roller on the wall, straightening out to 45 degrees. Imagining you're lengthening through your heels, trying to kick out and touch the wall. Squeezing that foam roller between your knees as you kick out. Exhaling to lower, inhaling to draw back in. You only need to make it to the chorus. All right, 3 to go. 2 and 1. Meeting me back in, we're coming into a bent knee fall out. And then straightening those legs again. 10 of these. 9. 8. Keeping that spinal posture. 7. 6. If you're shaking, that's good. 5. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Good job. Woo. We're changing positions now, so if you need to grab a drink, now is a good time. Alright. So we're setting ourselves up with a foam roller across the mat like this, elbow on the back, and the foam roller under our hip. And so if you haven't rolled through the outside of your quad before, you're in for a surprise. It's going to hurt in a good way. All right. So leaning forward, we're sliding up and down on the foam roller. And if you find a spot that's a little bit sore, staying there and rolling forwards and back. Eventually that sore spot will disappear. So fun fact about this shirt, I bought it on a little road trip. I went on to the Great Ocean Road. It was so wonderful. And it actually kind of just showed up like perfect timing. I had such a wonderful trip and I was like, oh, I want to buy like something that will remind me of the trip, but not like a kitschy touristy thing. And so I went into an op shop that was literally like on my way back to the hostel, and they had this beautiful yellow shirt, and yellow is my favorite color. I love it. It had a song that mowed the lawn. The sun was an okay guy. And then rolling over so the front of your quads are in contact with the foam roller, and we're rolling forward and back. Drawing the core in as we pull forward. If you've got any lower back issues, I'd encourage you not to come into too much back bend, keeping your core on to keep your back nice and flat. She went down the forest road, the forest of talking trees. They 3 of these to go. Lovely. And then rolling over and rolling through that right side.
Things were cold. They were scared down in their homes.
All right. One more core exercise. All right, lying on our back. What we're going to do, raise both our legs up into tabletop and then straighten the knees slightly. Placing the foam roller across our lap, we're crunching up, coming up onto the tip of the shoulder blades, rolling the foam roller up our legs, and then rolling it back down. Exhaling to roll away, up as high as you can, inhaling to come back down. You're going to do this 10 times. 8, 7, trying to get above the knee every time if you can. 6, 5, 4, 3, staying high, 2, and 1. Good job. Coming back down and massaging through belly if you feel like you need it. All right, flattening both legs up into tabletop. We're going to tap one toe on the ground and swap. If you're feeling comfortable here, coming into a scissor change, so moving both legs at the same time. But if you're not, then that's totally fine. Working with the breath, exhaling for one change, inhaling for another. Keeping that core on nice and strong. Sucking in that tummy like you're trying to squeeze into that tight pair of jeans. Meeting your high with both legs in tabletop and grabbing a foam roller in your hands. So what I want you to do is focus on keeping your bottom ribs in contact with the ground as you drop that foam roller back and bring it back in. If you're comfortable here, straightening both legs and bringing it back in. The further back you go, the harder it is. 10 of these. 9. 8. Exhaling to draw back in. 7. 6. 1 more. Yes, good job. All right, popping that foam roller under our heels again. We're going to come into a couple more bridges. So remembering we're peeling our spine up off the ground. So inhaling at the bottom, exhaling to draw that core in, peeling up, and inhaling to draw back down. Peeling the spine up off the ground. And as you lay it back down, you're moving one spine bone at a time, curling that spine.
Opinion, don't ask me to lie. Beg for forgiveness for making you cry. Making you cry. I'm only human after all. I'm only human after all. Don't put your blame on me.
3 of these to go. And 1. Lowering. Good job. All right, coming up into a sitting position, let's do some lovely stretches with the foam roller. So, all right, setting ourselves up with our legs outstretched over the foam roller. So what we're going to do is we're going to stretch through our hamstrings with the foam roller here. So we're leaning forward, keeping our legs straight. You can grab onto your ankles and absolutely do that. And the higher you have the foam roller up on your legs, the harder it will be because the more weight you'll get through. So we're going to rock side to side to increase the pressure down each hamstring. This is just a warm-up, believe me. Stretching through the back of the shoulder blades if you can too. So pushing the space between the back of your shoulder blades towards the back wall and keeping those legs straight. This is also a really nice nerve stretch because the nerves that come from our back are on stretch in this position, or some of them are. All right. Setting yourself up so your right leg is on the foam roller and your left leg is bent. From here, we're going to press down through the left leg and we're going to roll backwards and forwards on that hamstring. The muscles in the back of the thighs. The more weight you put through, the nicer the stretch will be. And then feel free to rotate that leg inwards and out until you find any sticky spots. And swapping sides.
Cause it only serves to make me more determined to achieve my final goal. And I come back even stronger, not a novice any longer, cause you deepen the connection.
Alright, crossing our legs in front of us, placing the soles of our feet together, we're going to come down into a diamond stretch. Feeling that stretch to the inside of the groin. Oh, and yes, I have a hole in my leggings. I'm such a klutz. If you guys don't know me in real life, like I'm actually such a klutz. It's a surprise that it took me this long to break my foot running, honestly. And so I have to have teaching leggings and workout leggings because all my workout leggings have holes in them. And I was actually devastated to have broken this pair. So it was a really, really nice pair and it was a really embarrassing story. I'll tell you in a second. So setting ourselves up with the foam roller across the mat like this, what I'm going to get you to do is sit on it with just your right bottom cheek, okay? And then crossing your right leg over your left leg and rolling side to side until you find a sticky spot. I bet you found one already. And then kind of rocking forwards and back over that sticky spot. So this is a lovely like glute massage with a bit of a stretch. And tight glutes are one of the main, maybe like one of the top 4 reasons I see for back pain. So this is a really, really good kind of stretch if you've got back pain. Okay, right. So I broke these leggings. I was doing like a trail run and I'm like not a very good trail runner yet. Like I broke my foot doing a trail run. But I was only just sort of starting to get into it. So I was doing a trail run with some friends and I hadn't run with a couple of them before. And I fell over like running down the first hill. It was like K number 5. It was really embarrassing. Tore a hole in my leggings. My knee was still bleeding by the end of the 30K trail run. So that was like, I don't know, 2.5 hours later. Anyway, so now I've got a war wound in my leggings to show it. Even though I don't have any beautiful battle scars, which is probably a good thing. If you're getting any tingles in your toes, that's absolutely fine. That's totally normal. And you're not going to do any damage to any of your nerves. And swapping sides. Alright. So setting yourself up so your left bottom cheek is on the foam roller, crossing your left leg over your right leg, and then rocking side to side until you find a sore spot, and then rocking forward and back. Using your hands for balance. Oh, lovely. Well, congratulations, everyone. You've come to the end of this foam roller class. So, let me just put some music so you can hear me better. So if you liked this foam roller class, I have another one up on my YouTube channel already. So that's Physio for Happy Healthy Pregnancy. I mean, you can get to it down below. Just click on my picture. And so there's a foam roller class up there from last week, which was a little bit different. I actually think it was a little bit harder. But you head over there and try it and tell me what you think. So if you've got a foam roller and you like it, absolutely feel free to go do that one as well. I did a Killer Core Pilates class on Sunday as well. So if you want a six-pack, that's the class for you. I will be doing one more class on Thursday at 6 p.m. and this is going to be a strong legs class. So it's going to be lots more calf stuff, lots of hamstrings, lots of glutes, and lots of quads. We might do a little bit of back work too. I'm not sure. We'll see how we go. So for those of you guys who weren't here at the beginning, because I saw a couple people tuned in like 10 minutes in, I'm going to do a little bit of a spiel, but if you already know about me and who I am and about my channel, feel free to click on out of this. So just quickly about my channel is called Physio for Happy Healthy Pregnancy. And as the title suggests, about 80% of my content is on pregnancy related things. So I've got a video going up this week. Oh, no, that's not this week, that's another week. But I've recently filmed a video on constipation and how it can affect your pregnancy and how to stay as comfortable as possible during pregnancy. I've got videos on things like ergonomic breastfeeding and pelvic floor dysfunction, and rehab after pregnancy, when you can get back to exercise, pelvic girdle pain, that sort of thing. But I also have videos on things, other women's health related issues. And so there's a video coming out this Thursday, so in 2 days' time, on UTIs, urinary tract infections, and why we need to talk about them more. So just a little bit of a rundown. If you guys don't know, I'm going to give you a little teaser for the video. UTIs can be asymptomatic, so you don't necessarily know that you've got a UTI. They don't always burn when you pee. And so there are other signs and symptoms aside from burning. But the reason this is so important is because if you don't know you've got a UTI, they can progress. So they work their way up your urinary tract into your bladder, which is not a good deal, like not a good thing at all, but you normally can't tell at the stage you've got a bladder infection. They will then work up the tubes connecting your bladder to your kidneys and begin an infection in your kidneys. And if you don't catch it at that point, it will get into your bloodstream and it can kill you. So in Australia, you're incredibly unlikely to die from urinary tract infections just because we've got really good access to antibiotics in hospital. But it is likely, if you don't know what you're looking for, that they will work their way up into your kidneys and they can do permanent damage to your kidneys. So please go watch that video. I put a lot of research into it. It's going to be a 2-part series because I wanted to make sure I covered it fully, but I think this is a really, really, really important women's health issue. Men can get UTIs too, of course, but because of women's anatomy, we have a shorter urethra, so that's the tube that connects our bladder to the outside world. We have a shorter one of those tubes, so it's a lot more likely that women will get a progressed UTI, and also it's more likely that women will get a UTI as well, because the main thing that causes infection is actually fecal matter, and the opening to the urethra, so the pee tube, is much, much closer to the bottom in women than it is in men, and so that puts us at a higher risk. The other thing is, there's lots of risk factors. So head on over there to watch that if you are a woman, or if you know a woman, or you're sleeping with a woman, because sex puts you at risk of UTIs as well. So head over there to check that one out. That's really, really important. And if you have daughters who are teenagers, head them over to watch that video too, because while you might not want to have that discussion with them, it is really, really important. And I think it's something women need to talk about. There's lots of other issues, kind of videos on things like that over on my channel. So yeah, if you're a woman, or you know a woman, or you're dating a woman, or your daughter's a woman, you'll get something out of my videos. So yeah, head on over to Physio for Happy Healthy Pregnancy to check that one out. If you don't know me, my name is Jennifer. I'm a registered Australian physiotherapist and antenatal Pilates instructor in the Canberra region. And so if you want to book an appointment with me, I work for Physio RX, like the letters RX. There's a link down below. You can book in to see me. If you'd like to come and do one of my in real life Pilates classes, feel free to reach out on Facebook or Instagram, Physio for Happy Healthy Pregnancy, or leave a comment down here and I will get back to you. And yeah, I'll get back to you and I'll give you the link for whichever kind of class you like. I teach reformer classes, I teach mat work classes, and I teach pregnant lady classes, so antenatal Pilates classes. So if you've got a little one coming, then I've got a class for you too. Those are my favorite classes to teach. So pregnant ladies, please sign up. But I love reformer and mat work too, of course. So I know this is not my normal audience, but I cannot resist doing my regular sign off, even though I know most of you guys aren't pregnant. So this is Jennifer the Physio signing off and wishing you a happy, healthy pregnancy. Bye.